Everybody is ablaze right now. Everybody's wondering what is really going on with Angel Reese. Has she just flat out quit again? Has she quit on the Chicago Sky? Angel, you gotta be, hold on, you have to have some level of self-awareness here.
Angel Reese is listed as day-to-day again, but if you've followed her career, you know that label comes with baggage. Last year, it was a day-to-day wrist injury that mysteriously turned into a season-ending absence. Now it's a vague, back-ish right as the Chicago Sky have been winning more without her. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is still setting records despite being sidelined with a legitimate groin injury, showing up for every game to support her team's playoff push. So, is Reese really hurt, or is this just the most predictable disappearing act in WNBA history? And how has she been publicly embarrassed after getting caught quitting on the Sky? If you think this is just another re-PR stunt, comment, fire the baby giraffe down below. Let's go.
I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury basically since the All-Star break. And there's no details. Every day we hear that Angel Reese is day to day. And every week there's no update on what she's struggling with, what she's doing. There's nothing. There's no information about Angel Reese. I think she's quit on this season. I think this is a worse version than Kawhi Leonard.
Angel Reese is day-to-day again, and fans can practically recite the script by now. Same vague injury updates, same disappearing act, same suspicious timing always when things start going south for Chicago. We've seen this before. Last year, it was a wrist, supposedly serious fracture with surgery pitched as necessary to prevent arthritis before she even hit her mid-20s. Then, just like that, her season was over. No gradual comeback. No late push to finish strong. Just done.
Hey, look, bro, you gotta remember, she quit in Unrivaled. She just stopped playing in Unrivaled. Said she was hurt, didn't show up for the championship game, didn't even show up and watch. Last season, she claimed her wrist was messed up, didn't finish playing in none of the games. Now, this year, she's saying this season, it's her back. It looked like she's not finishing playing in none of the games. The Sky needs you. The Chicago Sky, you guys are the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. They need Angel Reese to play in games. Angel, where you at? Where are you at, Angel? This is nuts.
Sequels Hera, mysterious back injury. No clear timetable. No real explanation. Just that it popped up right in the middle of another rough stretch for the Sky. You can practically chart it on the schedule. Big losses start piling up. Pressure mounts for her to turn things around. And then suddenly she's not in uniform, not even on the bench. At this point, it's almost predictable which week her day-to-day magically turns into indefinite.
Angel Reese! She might have tapped out, y'all. Angel Reese may have tapped out and quit on the Chicago Sky. Everybody is speculating. What is this back injury? What's going on? Hey, are you trying to pretend like you hurt because Caitlin Clark really is hurt? Wait. What's going on? What's going on?
The strangest part. She couldn't even be bothered to travel to Indianapolis for a Fever Game, a matchup that's supposed to be one of the WNBA's hottest tickets. This is the league's self-proclaimed it girl skipping out on the biggest rivalry of the season. But rewind just a few weeks, and there she was in Indiana for the All-Star Game, smiling for cameras, soaking up the spotlight, even staging a marketing stunt where she claimed she took over Caitlin Clark's trap. So apparently, the back holds up just fine for attention grabbing, but not for actually facing Clark on the court. That's a pattern more and more people are starting to notice.
She's using her back as an excuse to sit out because she doesn't really care about basketball. I think she looks over at Caitlin Clark and says, hey, Caitlin Clark is out with a legitimate injury. I proved my point before the All-Star game when I went on a 10-game run trying to justify being on the All-Star team. When that first ballot came out, when the first voting results came out about the All-Star game, and I was 13th, holy cow, Angel Reese panicked, started playing hard, tried to put up some stats to justify being on the All-Star team, did that, and now she said, hey, the Chicago Sky sucked this year, peace out.
And naturally, the speculation starts. Is this about protecting her brand from another high-profile embarrassment? Is it about dodging the games where her flaws would be on full display? The conversations aren't flattering. Commentators are already hinting she's packed it in for the year. Some aren't even bothering to hint. They're saying it outright. She's quit.
She identified once they lost Vandersloot, their point guard, early in the year, and once they started getting their brains beat in, hey, we're not going to win anything this year, I'm not putting these L's on my resume. I'm going to have an excuse for the Chicago Sky potentially coming in with the worst or second worst record in the WNBA. These losses will not be on my resume.
2 seasons. 2 injuries, both landing right when the conversation about her game is at its lowest, both conveniently erasing any chance to see if she can grind through a losing streak and still make an impact. Put those timelines side by side, and it stops looking like bad luck and starts looking like a pattern. And here's where it gets almost impossible to defend. The moment she's out of the lineup, Chicago suddenly looks like a real basketball team. That's when the story shifts from suspicious to downright unbelievable.
Last year with the Chicago Sky, you quit. You quit. You threw in the towel. Once you realized you no longer, you never stood a chance, to be honest, with Caitlin Clark for that Rookie of the Year. But once you realized your double streak was over, and it was over. She took over post-Olympic break. Once you realized it was done, you threw in the towel, said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year. You threw in the towel and said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year and didn't play again. This past the inaugural season of Unrivaled, you didn't even finish that season. You didn't even show up for the championship. No, not only did you not play, you didn't even show up to the game at all. People noticing a pattern with you. That's 2 seasons in a row.
The Sky's win-loss record doesn't match the hype machine built around Angel Reese, for someone marketed as the face of the franchise. The numbers paint a very different picture. In fact, Chicago's track record is noticeably better when she's out. And we're not talking about a fluke stretch. It's in those stretches without her that they actually piece together wins and cut down on the sloppy, self-inflicted losses that keep them buried in the standings. That's a brutal stat line for someone billed as a cornerstone player.
Let's get it! Burn! Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump. Not great! Burn!
Me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow.
Yeah! Again! Do it for me. Rebound! Burn!
You only have to look at what happened when Chicago faced Indiana without Caitlin Clark. Most people expected the Fever to be vulnerable without their leader. But instead, Lexi Hull stepped in, poured in 17 points, posted a plus 22, and Indiana cruised past the Sky. That's the same Chicago team that hasn't figured out how to beat the Fever in any scenario this year. Even without Clark, Hull, Boston, Mitchell, and Cunningham clicked because they trusted the flow of the game. No one hijacked possessions to pad stats or protect a brand.
Williams gonna have to hurry. Off the dribble, rolls out. Oh, open three. Oh, what a sight for Alexi Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Alexi Hull catching fire.
Now Chicago just needs to get it a little bit more settled here in the half court. Nurse loses at Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for 2 more.
What they do not understand is that coaches, and I know the WNBA in some regards isn't a real sports league, and I don't know if they think like real coaches and real people in sports, but the number one ability is availability. If you're not available, you have no value.
Okay, new strategy, team. Angel, keep doing your part. Everyone else, go rebound her misses. Burn! If she keeps missing layups at this rate, she's gonna be serving buttermilk pancakes at Denny's. Butter? Did somebody say butter? Butter pecan! Burn! At a certain point, you just got to applaud greatness. A rebound on her back? Are you kidding? Burn! Simon says, give me another pray-up. How about it? Burn! She really hit under the basket on a layup. Get this girl a GPS. Burn! Everybody get up on your feet. It's time to meet and greet the most underpaid athlete. Bang!
Caitlin Clark appears to have a legitimate injury that everybody can trace to a moment and a time during the games where she re-aggravated. She originally injured. She had a comeback where it lasted 2 or 3 games, re-injured it. They've hinted at a time frame of late August that she may return. Nothing but a mystery surrounds Angel Reese. Indiana Fever destroy the Chicago Sky in Indianapolis on Saturday. Guess who wasn't there? Angel Reese. Angel Reese declined to travel to Indianapolis, and her coach came out and said something about, she's just focused on her rehab right now, and, she's day to day. We've never had an explanation on what caused the back injury, what's a time frame for her recovery. It's similar to so-and-so's back injury. This is something she struggled with here or there. All we've heard is day to day, and Angel Reese has disappeared.
I mean, I'm proud of this group. I think we've shown all season long, like, they're resilient, they're connected. They pull for each other. They enjoy one another. They celebrate one another, and that stuff alone is good for 10 to 12 points a game. And for this group, the way that they share the ball, how unselfish they are. I mean, I'm really proud of them. It's not been ideal circumstances all season long, but they've shown the character of who they are. They've been resilient. They've responded to adversity, and they continue to elevate one another. And I couldn't be more proud of this group than I am at this moment.
Folks, yet again, the Indiana Fever faced the Chicago Sky, and yet again, we whoop that. Oh boy. 92-70. It was a whole part.
What is the back injury? Everybody's questioning it now, and this will be a third straight season where Angel Reese did not finish playing in games, where she just stopped. Some of these injuries, we saw the injuries. We didn't see what happened. What happened? This is bad.
I think it just says a lot about who we have as human beings. That was one of the things that we made a priority in the off season of, who we bring into this organization. Number one, quality human beings, selfless human beings, that want to pull for one another, that understand. We have this depth for a reason, and sometimes it creates challenges getting people on the floor. But in situations like this is why you have it. And I'm just, she's right. I mean, as a pro and as a pro coach, this is one of the most connected groups I've seen.